Hey guys, welcome to another video on the channel. Today, we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be covering the main story of Red Dead Redemption 2. And yes, you may notice that a lot of these clips seem kind of weird. They're just random. Well, I wasn't completely married to the idea of making a video on this because of my very limited fans, and I didn't think they would really care, but I decided to make it. And yes, I apologize for that weird humming sound. I've noticed in a lot of my videos, I just don't have soundproofing right now. But, on with the video.
What the hell?
I actually think this is probably one of the best realistic games in terms of storytelling. And also just immersion.
You upstairs, I'm coming for you. You hear me?
Like, every area has its own ambience and feel. Or every area has, if it has something about it. You can meet just so many strange characters in each area that really makes you flesh out where you are. This area, like Shady Belle, you just encounter these crazy Confederate redneck hillbillies, whatchamacallits, and you really have these weird interactions. Like with this guy, I didn't hear the whole thing because I proceeded to blow his head off, but you see, you have so much freedom. And also, another section to this game that I love, or I should say part, is the hunting. It's pretty realistic for a video game that isn't mainly about hunting, because if you're bored and you just decide to ride around on a horseback with a shotgun killing everything in sight, you can do that, but your yield won't be very good. But if you go around tracking and spotting animals like this, you can get absolutely legendary items like Arthur Morgan's very, very interesting hat, which people will comment on, which is even more detailed to this game. Also, the amount of details they put in this game, it rivals Modern Warfare or recent Battlefield entries. And yes, I know there are plenty of other detailed games, but I'm just playing ones that I have experienced. Plus, the way you process animals, it's different. It's pretty funny. The way you can just skin a buck in 3 minutes or 3 seconds. What in real life it takes 30 minutes, but that's beside the point. Also, on this expansive map, which might be one of the biggest yet, you can find all these secret Easter eggs and secret encounters, like a couple of racist ghosts, which, well, yes, you'll see. But you can just go through the map and you won't notice it on a regular run. But with all these crazy things you can go looking for, like an old Viking burial ground, or incest pig farmers, or ghosts, or a frozen conquistador in the mountains in which I found my hat on. Just all of them just build up this more connected, more held together game, and it really just makes you feel, well, immersed. Plus, the way the map can just transition, it's absolutely amazing. I might have already said that. Another thing I haven't really gotten to yet is story too. It's like I said, it's probably one of the best, and I've only talked about atmosphere and stuff. First off, it has an amazing soundtrack to complement the story, which is just really shows every scene. Plus, you have one of the most loved rockstar protagonists with some of the best emotional and best voice acting I've probably ever heard. This will be having spoilers too, I forgot to add. You just have like so many characters in this game, big and small, that really build it up too in the story mode. So, the great thing about Arthur is the transitions he has, like the way his character moves. He'll go from an extremely gang-loyal, ruthless man in the mountains, and as he moves on and he learns to die, you see him learning, like you just see him learning on like how to be like, I don't know, like to be good, like that. Might as well make an impact, which is probably one of the greatest things in This might sound kind of hippie-ish, but you know, it kind of goes to say, just do that in life. Of course, as I say this, I proceed to murder the 2 pig farmers, but that's beside the point. Also, but it also just gives you like a really sad feeling as you start to build this attachment with Arthur, and you just know he's dying. And that's probably the saddest thing about it. It's heartbreaking, but it's an amazing piece of storytelling, and that's one thing I love about this game. Also, it really makes you hate characters, but doesn't seem too excessive like Micah. You absolutely just want to destroy that man. You hate him. You hate everything about him, even Dutch, and the way his dynamic works. You can really see how it ties it into the original RDR, which is really smooth. Plus, you just have some really interesting characters, like Charles, which is kind of funny because I actually have an uncle a lot like him. You know, African American and native blood, but that's a tale for another day. Just the story, it's got great immersive cutscenes, and one of the most emotional games I've played. Honestly, y'all know that if y'all played, y'all know that the final ride of Arthur is probably one of the saddest rides you'll ever go on. It's probably one of the only gaming scenes I've ever cried to. And yes, judge me for that. But it's sad. Come on. But yeah, you also just have like, as you know that Arthur's dying, at the same time, you feel like pride and stuff, because you like, even though they're NPCs, you still feel like you're making a difference. Like you just feel like really like it's a satisfying, like extremely sad ending. And like even here, like this music, it absolutely shows exactly what has happened. It's so sad, but it's beautiful. Just take a listen. It really like shows Arthur. It reflects him and all the stuff he's gone through. In fact, I don't know if one of those underlying voices actually went to Hosea, but that just might be my head. Y'all can probably tell what I'm saying right here. I don't know if that's supposed to be Hosea, but let me know in the comments. Yeah, I know this song or something about it probably made y'all sad, but that's the thing. The game gives you such a sense of fulfillment over those 40 hours of regular gameplay that you know like you've made a difference, and you technically influenced Red Dead Redemption. Of course, we gotta address the elephant in the room, and that is RDR Online. It's one good thing, it's less toxic than GTA, but it just doesn't have the same charm. Maybe it's because it's second time or something. Probably just because of age limitations, you can't really do as much. But it just never clicked with me. I played for like 2 or 3 days, and it just, without spending real money, it's so grindy. It is fun to get in a posse with some of your best friends and just ride around like idiots, or just to fight other players and get really funny revenge clips like this one. But it's nothing special. It really isn't. And it just doesn't have the same charm and tone as the story mode. That's one thing that bothered me. It felt very, very different to the main story. And that's one thing that really, like, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was the same game. Of course, what you expect. Right,